Welcome to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. Nothing to plug out. Everything plug in and working. This one is about a police that was allegedly shot in the head by a co-worker. Okay, at this point of the story, we know that it's not allegedly, but it actually happened. Right? So you have a police officer that was shot in the head by another police officer. Enough people are say, yo, SouFLo, them thing they are set up. Him never play. Him not play with the program. So them slap out them thing. I have another theory on that. And that's what we're going to talk about. So, story reads like this. A police corporal who was securing one of the exits of a house where a police search party had gone in search of a wanted man or wanted men was shot in the head by his colleague. Members of the operation support team in Portland, which carried out these special emergency operations in the police division, went in search of wanted men who were believed to be occupying a property in the Olivier housing scheme in Buff Bay about 5:45 a.m. early morning that you know. Other police personnel who ran to investigate after hearing their colleagues cry out in pain found him laying on the floor and covered in blood inside that house. It was determined that the constable was bleeding from the head. One single gunshot was allegedly fired by a district constable. It is thought to have ricocheted off of a wall, hitting the constable in the eye. So in other words, he got shot in the head, right? Which part of the head did he get shoot or shot? In his eye. He got shot in the eye, in the face. The corporal lost consciousness, was rushed to Anata Bay Hospital and later transferred to Kingston Public Hospital. Enough people are calling me and say, SouFLo, Kingston Public Hospital, I dead that dead man. Well, you know the end of the story by now. The target of the operation was not found at the house by the police, which said it does not mean that the intelligence was not reliable. That's a whole nother story, a whole nother video, but we're not going to talk about that right now. The Independent Commission of Investigation and the Jamaican Constabulary Forces inspectors of the constabulary have launched an investigation into the matter. So, someone said, Warren Johnson said, these are signs of poor training or just a bumbling cop. Alright. Look. For the 10 years of my life that I gave to the U.S. Army Infantry, I've done countless and multiple videos on SouFLoTV where I talked about the teachings and training that I could actually bring and give to Jamaica Constabulary Force, Jamaica JDF, Jamaica Defense Force. And I'm not arrogant or ignorant because I'm not the only Jamaican that has done multiple years in the Army. While I was in the Army in the US, I met many other Jamaicans that were of higher ranking and did many more years after I left and quit and got out. So I'm sure they could have said the same thing. But here I am and here I stand trying to give some kind of help back. I've never been called. I've never been texted. I've never gotten an email. No one has ever said, SouFLo, come. Make we see what you work with. Nothing. This story dropped, right? Enough people have said, SouFLo, listen, they told them they have problems. And shot the man and kill him. And just write it off as why them going on a raid. Okay, I'm going to take it right there and I'm going to tell a story and then I'm going to give you reality. Pay attention. So, I was going on a deployment and as I was getting ready for that deployment, remember I'm used to being deployed 12 months to 14 to 16 months at a time. So in that 12, 14 and 16 month period, my family would have only seen me for 14 days, right? Turn off my soil for me. Thank you. So I'm thinking under those guidelines. All right. I remember specifically my last deployment. And I said to my first sergeant, I'm not going nowhere with you. Because he was from somewhere in the south of the USA. And he was an extremely racist individual. Not that his place where he comes from says much. But I'm just telling you who he was. He was an extremely racist individual. And at the time, as a soldier, I thought to myself, and I said it to him, I'm going to have to watch you more than I watch my enemies. Right? This was as a U.S. Army infantry soldier getting ready to deploy into Iraq, Afghanistan, and I said, I'm going to have to watch you more than I watch my enemies because you are that much racist. So, making that story short, looking at this story, I did 10 years of moving in a 4-man team, right? Where it's rock, 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 go. Push, kick, go. Room clear, room clear, room clear, room clear. You move, you clear the building. You move, you clear the building, and you keep moving. Things happen in the process. Did I ever see any fratricide? Because that's what it's called for us. If you shoot one of your own, it's called a fratricide. Fracture-side. No, I've never seen a fratricide. I know it happens, and the only one that I've ever known was Matt Tillman, a famous football NFL star that went through basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia, and chose to go into the infantry the same time I went in. Matt Tillman, look him up, Google him. And he went into the infantry and went Special Forces, U.S. Army Ranger, and got killed on a mission. Gave up a multi-million-dollar NFL contract and got killed. But I say that to say this. Things happen. Things happen in that environment that individuals who are regular people can never understand. When you run into a building or a house, if you can just, let me try to make you understand this. Turn all the lights off in your house and then walk around in it. And then imagine that that is your job and you have never been in that house before. Everyone that lives in that house could turn the lights off and they know my TV is to the left, my wall switch is to the right. I could turn this switch on and get the room bright. You don't know that. That's not your house. and you hit houses after houses after houses. That was their job. So here we have one officer charged with shooting another officer, and now we know that he shot him in his eye. In his eye. Headline said, police officer shot in the head by another officer. Your eye is a part of your head, but he got shot in the eye. This report brought it home even more. He got shot in his face, in his eye, by his buddy. It's very possible that this report could actually be true. Bye, brains. Yeah, but it's very possible that this report could possibly be true, because I've lived it. I've lived it and I've done it. I didn't shoot anybody in the eye or in the face that was fracture-side, but I understand what it means to raid a building, to go in, to be on a mission, and you take casualties. I'm going to leave this video right here, and I'm going to ask you to like, comment, share, subscribe, leave your comment in the comment section below, and we'll talk about this at some other time. Warren Johnson, signs of poor training or just a bumbling cop? Signs of poor training? Could be. Bumbling cop? Could be. When shit hits the fan, it splatters all over the room. I'm out. Peace.